Hello, my name is Esmeralda Cruz, and I'll be giving you guys a presentation on Horse Heaven Hills AVA. So, I have a question. I think many of you may wonder, why is Horse Heaven Hills called Horse Heaven Hills, or when it was discovered, or who discovered it? Well, I'm about to answer those little questions. Horse Heaven Hills was discovered in 1857 by a cowboy named James Kinney. He actually discovered Horse Heaven Hills because his horses were eating the grass in the hillside, and when he saw this, he was so astonished that he told himself, surely this is Horse Heaven, and that's how Horse Heaven Hills got its name. Some geology and history of Horse Heaven Hills is that about 15,000 to 13,000 years ago, the Missoula floods happened, which are also known as the Spokane floods. The Missoula floods was an ice dam that bursted from Montana, and this ice dam caused the glacial lake to outburst and the water rushed down eastern Washington and western Oregon. This didn't just happen once, it happened multiple times that the water rushed down the Clark Fork and the Columbia River. The lake was drained multiple times, and each time ice were formed and it created again the glacial Lake Missoula, which also created thick deposits of sand, silt, and gravel in the soil. Horse Heaven did not only experience the Missoula floods, but it also experienced volcano eruptions. Some of these volcanoes were the Mount Mazam, commonly known as the Carter Lake, Glacier Peak, and Mount St. Helens. When the volcanoes erupted, they left lava sediments. Horse Heaven got the lava sediments a couple of times, and then once again it got the Missoula floods and then the lava sediments, so it kept happening vice versa. It is said that the lava sediments gives a different taste to the grapes, but these sediments can only be found in the lower Columbia Valley. There are three soils that Horse Heaven Hills has, which are windblown sand and loses the Missoula flood sediments, and the hill slope rubble from the Columbia River basalt bedrock. Horse Heaven Hills climate has been a bit rocky. Horse Heaven climate is a bit rocky. This is because Horse Heaven is located in one of the hottest parts of Washington. And anyways, it is in one of the hottest parts. The vineyards do get watered, so the grapevines do have water. Besides it being one of the hottest parts, it also has dryness, and this is because the Cascade Mountains cause rain shadow, which causes the dryness. And besides having dryness, Horse Heaven also has strong winds, which cause soil erosion. And when you combine the dryness and the strong winds, we start getting the wildfires, like those recent fires that Horse Heaven had. Horse Heaven gets a low rainfall. It gets an average about 6 to 9 inches of water, and this water mostly comes during the winter times. So you may wonder when Horse Heaven Hills was established, where it is, and who are the owners? Well, I will let you know. Horse Heaven Hills was established August 1st of 2005, and it is about 50 miles long and 20 miles deep, which it totals about 5,070 acres. It is north from the Columbia Valley, and the Yakima AVAs, and south from the Columbia River, pretty much around Prosser and the Tri-Cities. The owners of Horse Heaven Hills is a Mercer family, and a fun fact is that the first vine grape was planted in 1972 by Don and Linda Mercer. So you may ask yourself, is Horse Heaven Hills has 5,070 acres? Does it have vineyards, and how many? Well, it does have vineyards, and not only that, it also has tasting rooms, wineries and tasting rooms. Horse Heaven Hills has 31 vineyards, which make a total of 17,082 acres. And some of the more popular vineyards are Canoe Ridge, Coyote Canyon, Mercer Canyon, and from the vineyards, the five vineyards and tasting rooms that it has, for those of legal age, of course, are Columbia Crest Winery, Joseph Christie Vineyard, Alexandria Nicole Cellars, and Destiny Ridge, and Water from Wine. So now, you may ask yourself, does Horse Heaven Hills have only red grapes or white grapes? Well, it actually has both. Horse Heaven, Horse Heaven Hills has planted a total of 25 red grapes, which makes 75% of its 12,000 acres. Some of the red grapes that it has planted are the Berbera, the Grenache, the Lombrache, and the Tempranillo. But its top five, the, the, the one that sells the most, are the Cabernet, the Merlot, the Syrah, the Cabernet Franc, and the Malbec. For its whites, Horse Heaven has planted 13 grapevines, which make the other 25% or the 5,000 acres. And some of its white grapes are the Albarino, the Orange Muscat, and the Semillon. And it also has some top five, which are the Chardonnay, the Riesling, the Sauvignon Blanc, the Pinot Gris, and the Chenin Blanc. And last but not least, here are some fun facts about Horse Heaven Hills. It is said that the smoke from the wildfires that Horse Heaven has affects the taste of the wine and the grapes. Well, it actually does, but not a lot. For example, if it gets lower levels of smoke, the grape and the wine will have like a similar taste, and aromas to like the barrel, and it's like a little bit toasty. But when it gets higher levels, it smells more like a campy fire and like ashiness. Another fun fact is that you're able to do wine touring. So if you ever want to do like wine touring, there is one specific tasting room and winery that will give you a touring. And another thing is that you're able to camp in Horse Heaven Hills. Imagine how fun it would be to look at the stars on Horse Heaven Hills. Horse Heaven Hills is also nonprofit, and it gives college scholarships to people who are interested into work in the vineyards or agriculture. Horse Heaven not only makes wine, but it also makes beer. They have their own brewery, which is located in Prosser. They also have their own dining, they also have dining, which sells their wine and beer. One of these the locations are in Patterson and Prosser, that carries both their beer and wine. In such example, a place that carries their wine is the Princess Theater, and they sell the Mercer Red, the Rosé Blanc, and the Rosé. And you're able to get these wines only when they have events. Another fun fact is that besides Horse Heaven Hills being nonprofit and having scholarships for students who want to work in the agriculture, it also donates its grapes to colleges. Such example is that it's donated in the past its grapes to Yakima Valley College, and the vineyard that donated its grapes was Coyote Canyon. In the picture are some of the wines that the previous students that created. These previous students created the wines the class project vineyard 2009 and 2010, the last graduate Syrah 2008, a Primitivo 2009 and 2010, and a midterm Merlot.